This quick video is for those who have completed their O-level exams and for parents of such students. We're going to quickly look at what options you have after your O-levels. Before going into the details, let us see why we actually do exams or why we pursue various courses. There are many reasons, and here are a few of them which I think are quite popular. The first most common reason is that we want to build a certain set of skills, and we feel that we need to go through formal education in order to achieve this. On the other hand, we want recognition for what we have learned. And then there is the exposure that we get by undertaking or following certain training programs. For example, let's say you follow a program that teaches you web development. Now, it really helps you if you can bring that into practice. If you can get placement on real-world projects, that really helps you. And then there is a social aspect of it. That is, you get to meet like-minded people and you get to share your thoughts, you get to share their experiences, you get to learn out of this. And then the primary reason, that is, we do it because ultimately we want to make a living out of it. We are not following these courses because we are free or because you just think it's fun to be on a program. You're doing these things because at the end of the day you want to be able to make money out of this knowledge that you have gained. And then of course you get those people who do it just because they have to do it or because their parents said do it and they just can't justify it. Now we come to discuss the alternatives. Especially today, you find so many routes, so many options that you can use to make it to the top. When I say making it to the top, I mean to complete your first undergraduate program. For example, a BSc in computer science or software engineering. This is by far the most popular route that many students take. Now, quite often most students would go through their A-levels and then directly get entry into a university program. But then there is also a route which many people, quite a few people I would say, they go through a foundation program. There are quite a few students who go through this route. Now remember that most of these foundation programs are not recognized by other institutions. I'm not going to talk about anything specific, but I'll just give you an example. Supposing you go to institution A and follow their foundation program, the chances are that institution B would not accept it as an entry qualification into their undergraduate programs. For this reason, I feel that it's better for you to choose something more standard and accepted as an entry qualification. I am in no way trying to undermine any particular program or institution. You should do your own research in this regard. For example, you could ask College A if they would accept you with the foundation program of College B. It's that simple. This is one of the key reasons why you're better off doing A-levels, because it's going to be recognized and accepted by everyone. And then you have an alternative route. Instead of doing a university program, you have professional programs. These professional programs are considered to be at the same level as a typical university program. So for example, if you have completed the BCS HEQ in software engineering, it is the same as you having completed a computer science degree at a university. If each of these programs is done by a student, they're both eligible for entry into a master's level program after that. They may not be learning the identical things, but they are assessed and accepted at the same level. So you actually have a choice. It's completely up to you. Of course, not all of the programs listed here are at the same level. For example, when you take the NCC qualifications, you have the diploma level, and then you have the HND, and finally you have the university, and finally you have the BSc or equivalent qualification. On the other hand, when you take qualifications like City and Guilds, these are not university level programs. Rather, they are more skills oriented programs. They are technical programs. But if you take programs like the CIMA or SCCA, completing them would be the equivalent of a university program in, for example, accounting and finance. Also, it is worth noting that some of these programs are not actually aimed at making you a university level qualified person. Rather, they teach you skills that you may use for practical work. For example, I have a training program that teaches web development. So anyone with A-level qualifications or O-level qualifications can join that program, and at the end of it, within about 3.5 to 4 months, it makes the student able to build web applications. I'm not saying that my program is the only one that offers that. I just gave it as an example. And then there is something else you need to know. This is quite common with many students today. That is, soon after A-levels, or even after O-levels for that matter, students are not really sure about what exactly they want to do. So if you have no interest in learning programming and you don't enjoy it, you don't want to go into it, then do not choose A-level computer science. As it stands today, the A-level computer science syllabus has around 50% of programming. So if you do not like computer programming and you're not even interested, you're not going to put your effort into it, do not do this subject for A-levels. But keep this in mind. If you have any idea of pursuing a program that involves engineering, it doesn't have to be computer science or software, any engineering, there's a high chance that you will need to learn to program, and you will need to know, for example, a programming language like C or C++, because that's the language that is most widespread in almost all of the universities when you go into engineering. So if you have an idea of engineering as your career, make sure that you get that foundation in C and C++ before you get into that program. Okay. Let's now look at the next steps that you have. Before you get into your university program, make sure that you do your homework and find out what exactly you're going to be learning. Their prospectus may have, for example, the list of modules or subjects that they will be covering. See how much of it you're going to be getting or what areas you're going to be covering, and see whether you're really going to enjoy that. There are some computer engineering programs where if you look at its contents, around 60% of it involves just math. It's more like a math program where computer programming has been introduced a bit, or a little bit of computer science or architecture. So if you're not someone who just enjoys math, make sure that you find out how much of math and how much of architecture or what kind of other modules you have in there. The next thing is that before your program starts, before your university program starts, make sure that you take the time to get the basics of programming. Because once you go into a university level program, usually they're not going to take the time to help you out at your own pace. Yes, it's true that there are some online programs, but this is not the case in the majority of situations. So prepare before you go and enroll yourself in those programs. It'll also give you an insight into what exactly you will be learning once you start your university program. If you feel that you are ready at this very point, go ahead and start. Do not have a gap year. Do not plan on your gap year. Do not plan on your holidays. You'll have plenty of it coming automatically. And at the same time, something very important is that you've got to try to find internship positions so that you will be able to bring that theory into practice. Finally, let's see how we can help you get started with your university or higher study programs. We have two key programs that we offer. One is a training on C and C++. This basically covers, within around 15 lessons, the entire A-level programming hands-on. So you will not be going into the extra theory that we have, because it's about 1.5 years of work, but we just do the programming parts. So if there is anything that involves coding at A-level, we do it here. Plus, towards the end of this training program, we go into certain advanced sections like working with actual pointers and binary trees and stuff like that. This is really a good program for you if you want to know what it is like when you start your actual university level programs. And then I also have the web development program, which is ideal for school leavers, whether you're after O-level or A-level. If you are going to immediately start your A-levels, do not join my web development program, because you will not benefit from it, since there's a high chance that you will forget what you're learning. But if you are not going into A-levels, or if you have finished your A-levels, this would be a fantastic opportunity for you to build a skill where you can actually start working at an early stage. For example, you could undertake freelance projects and build web applications. Also, if you have these skills, you have a good chance of getting internship placements. There are students who have had their undergraduate programs sponsored as a result of having this background, and also there are those people who have been able to start working on freelance projects. Another thing that I think may benefit you is that we give recommendations to our students. Finally, feel free to check out our website and connect with us through our social networking links. Do your best.